Bring Me the Horizon's new album, Post-Human Survival Horror, is officially out, and I am so excited about these tracks. And today, I'm going to dissect Kingslayer by Bring Me the Horizon. We're going to look at song arrangement. We're going to look at the mixing and mastering decisions that they made on this song. And you're probably wondering, like, why do we even care about the mix or master of this latest song? And the reason is because bands like this are influencing the way music sounds. Okay, so if we're not listening and analyzing what they're doing, then we're going to be left behind as a mixing and mastering engineer or as a producer or a band. So we better start taking notes. My name is Bobby Balo. I'm a mixing and mastering engineer at Raytown Productions. And with that, let's hop into the track. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about that's super important is the fact that this song has almost zero dynamics, right? This is like a square wave. And if you're a mixing or mastering engineer and you're submitting songs to online streaming services, you're probably well aware that there's a lot of recommendations that you can't have your song too loud, right? They always say, oh, you need to have so much dynamics in there or we're going to penalize you and turn your song down. Well, let me just say that Bring Me the Horizon doesn't give a about dynamics, period. Like, let me show you how loud this is. It is crazy loud. Okay, so this is a tool I use all the time for analyzing audio, and it's going to give us the average loudness. Check this out. It is so loud. So we're looking at like -5 LUFS, okay? I think Spotify recommends -14. Like this is incredibly loud, okay? So if you are wondering if you should make your music quieter to appease the Spotify and YouTube gods, my answer to you is hell no, because this band's not doing it, and they're selling way more records than any of us. They definitely made it as loud as they wanted to bring out the best of the track, you know, and it seems like that happened at -5, not at -14, okay? So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing is, in order for it to get this loud and still sound good, the mixing is crucial, okay? And the song arrangement is extremely important. So the guitars are not playing the same notes as the vocal melody and as the synths and all these other things, okay? They're all spread out throughout the spectrum, and then they all have their own place, okay? We can hear that right away. Listen to the melodies in the beginning. Okay, so the synths are actually in the forefront here. Okay, and if we want, we can actually listen to just the side information. So that's going to have the guitars and probably some of the synth and cymbals. So let's listen to just the sides. Okay, so this is anything that is not in the center of the mix. So here, you can hear the guitar riffs, that dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, that's in there, and you hear some of the hi-hats. You hear the synth. So there's actually a second synth that comes in right there that I didn't notice that we can hear on the sides. Okay, so let's listen to it back. It's just massive. When we get to the verse, immediately we hear the guitars are now filtered. Okay, the vocals have like a distorted effect that's limiting the bandwidth, so the sonic frequencies that are in the vocal range, and that all helps to make it feel smaller. Okay, and the reason that's done, just like I explained in my other video where I analyzed teardrops, is that we need to make something smaller to make it sound big. Okay, you can't have big all the time. If the song is crazy like that the entire time, you're not going to have any impact in certain parts, okay? So we have to do something to make different sections smaller to give it a little bit of breathing room, and then we can come back in and really slam you with like a full sounding mix. But that is only possible if we make things smaller. So let's see if we can identify that. So let's listen to the sides. So hear how small the guitars sound in the sides here. We can also hear that those vocals are completely distorted. I mean, it sounds like the guitars are actually have less gain. Okay, so then let's listen to it played back. And there's these cool little glitch effects. I don't know if you caught that. Yeah, right there. Let me see if I think those are on the sides. Yeah. So yeah, you can hear this, like when these low guttural vocals come in, how much more impact there is. And the reason is because they're letting all those bass frequencies back in the mix. Okay, listen to how tinny it is, and then it gets super full. And there's also this like sizzle, and I don't know if that's from the guitar or the synths, but it sounds like almost like white noise. Let's listen. Yeah, that dun-na-na, but it's all sizzly. So again, those are really, really high frequencies that are just adding to this like chaos when it comes in. All right, so then we're adding in the kick drum there, and that's just kind of helping to build intensity and anticipation for when it's going to come slamming back in here in a second. Man, it's just massive. Now, let's listen to this chorus when it comes back in, because it's like crazy right now with Ollie screaming in this, and when the chorus hits, it's even louder. Okay, so check it out. So what's happening here is they have a bunch of synths that are stacked on top that are reinforcing the rhythm elements of it. So we have a synth that is now going behind like the guitars. It kind of follows the guitars around, and I think there's like probably a bass synth or something that's has very consistent low energy to it, and that is just helping to like lock in the bass response for this chorus and make it sound super thick and full. And then we have these vocals that are now like an octave higher than what we're typically used to hearing in that verse. And so those pop out, and those higher frequencies make us feel like it's more exciting now, right? And so they're able to get like a bigger emotional response out of this chorus that way. We'll be able to hear all that if we listen to just the sides. There's like keys that are being held constant. There's keys that are like stabbing, that have this like stab type thing. I can't think of the word. But we'll be able to hear them all on the sides. Yeah, so you hear that. Deet, 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 deet. And now you can hear the harmonies. There's like at least 3. Let's also listen to see, we might be able to hear the guitars. They might be a little bit louder too. So let's listen for that. No, the guitars stayed the same volume. It's that synth. That thing comes in. That helps just to knock it right over the top. All right, let's see how they get out of this chorus. Great arrangement move right here, right? We have a lot of energy. Like this chorus is the loudest thing that we've heard so far. So how do you, from a songwriting perspective, the only way to have it still feel big again is to let it breathe. We have to let the song breathe somehow. And how they did it was cutting all the instruments out, having this one note be held, letting the song decay a little bit, and then slamming right back so we can make that impact and then get back into the next verse. Then we have that different sounding synth, which kind of replaces the male vocal melody that helps to give it a little bit more contrast. Amazing. The song is like perfectly written. Okay, so again, we're still at like 9. We have to bring it down a little bit more, otherwise the choruses aren't going to hit. So how do we do that? We take some of the elements away, and then we make it interesting and add some contrast. So now we have this like buzzy bass thing going on with the kick drum. And we also lose the side harmonies, so now everything is just dead, like the vocals are dead center. Then there's the bass. So yeah, to keep it interesting, instead of having that guttural like we had after the first verse, now we have like this like chants from Babymetal. And then we slow it down a little bit so it's not so fast. Again, brilliant arrangement decision, because then when the chorus hits, we can go fast again and it feels like the energy keeps increasing. Also notice that we started with these low gutturals and then the tone keeps going higher and higher, right? We got into like these like mids and then like some like, right? So it's guttural, low. Now we're getting into like these highs and mids in the screaming. Again, it's building intensity, and then we don't want to overdo it, so then Ali will actually bring it down to these mid type screams so that we can really slam into this breakdown that's coming up. So now instead of going right into the chorus, we have like this like fake out thing where it lets the song kind of breathe again, right? We just had this huge energy part. And if you think of it, like if you're at a concert, man, like people are moshing and slam dancing and doing all this stuff, you know, they're going to get tired. They need a second to breathe, right? And so that's what this is for right here. You know, get your breath, get up if you fell down on the ground, and then get ready for that last chorus. So it sounds like there's extra synths here. I want to see if we can find them. So there's extra harmonies. So again, we're listening to the sides. Oh, you can hear how the synths actually start going up here. Listen. Awesome. There you go. We gotta let it breathe, right? Catch your breath, guys, because we're about to like go hard. I mean, you can just look at the waveform and you can see how they're doing it, right? It's either volume automation or they're removing elements, and then again, bam. And right before we like have all these impactful moments, notice there's always some sort of decrease in volume before it. It's always there. And why is that? Even when like we're going to a quieter part, there's a decrease before it because it helps to transition our way down to this quieter part. Okay? So take some notes. There you have it, man. It's pretty amazing. I'm very curious about the frequency balance of this song. What's interesting to hear, though, is when you play just the low frequencies, you can very clearly feel the impact of the kick drum and always hear the bass. Okay? That's so important. If you pull up a song and you listen to just this like 150, 160 hertz and below, and you can't really feel the impact of the kick because the bass is getting in the way, your mix is garbage. You know, this low-end management is what makes an A-list mixer an A-list mixer. Awesome. Man, the top end is so hyped. So this is something else that I want to mention is, yeah, just the high frequencies are really, really exaggerated in this mix. Like, that is fatiguing, right? But at the same time, those are the frequencies that give it a cool texture, right? This is almost an electronic song, and that type of texture is common for the genre. So we want to have that there. All right, I just want to quickly look at what it looks like just as like a an average frequency spectrum. We have a little bit of a cut here from like 300 to 700. Pretty typical. That's a little bit of a mid scoop to help give it a little bit of a smiley curve to it. And that, again, just makes it feel a little bit more powerful. And that's going to play back a little bit better on more devices than if we were to like have it like completely horizontal. So cool. There you guys have it. Man, what an insane song. If you make music and you want it to sound this massive, I have a ton of different YouTube tutorials. Check those out on my channel. And if you like this and you're still here, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. It really means a lot to support this channel. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.